talk about the C100, which is actually standing here on this small table, in a totally steamy, warm swimming pool, because this is the same, one of the things you want to make a test on the camera about, you want to tackle it with the water, with the rain, but another problem sometimes is the steam. We want to talk about this and this.
1DX?
Doesn't matter. It's a DSLR.
Yeah, DSLR versions.
And video camera. Which actually, at this point of time, it also doesn't really matter what brand and what type it is. I have a lens on. I wanted to take it off, but I realized we are in a swimming pool. As you can hear, actually, the echo. I don't want to open it. It's quite wet, it's damp, there is a moisture, and we had to, as you saw, I had to take a swim for like half an hour, 40 minutes before the temperature of the camera and the lens adjusted to the environment, so I still don't want to open it. It's the same when you are shooting pictures or whatever at the sea, on the boat, just keep it sealed. So, what was the topic?
Comparison between DSLR and
video camera. Like, okay, let's start with this baby. DSLR. It does fantastic pictures, it does fantastic video, but the main but.
The but.
There's lots of good stuff, but there's lots of bad stuff. Bad stuff. Not bad stuff. Buts. We've been shooting videos on DSLR for the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Which worked for
Which worked. We didn't know about this camera. This didn't exist completely. We were just happy with this. And yeah, so we were going into more dynamic range, different okay, I sort of started cinema style, picture styles, trying to get the most dynamic range and the video functionality of a DSLR. And again, it doesn't really matter that this is a DX, forget it. This thing, we hit the limits. Yeah. And at one point, once we started to do more and more projects, video projects, we realized we need more. What annoyed me in the first place, for me, who's working glasses, I mean you also work in glasses, but I have absolutely no problem seeing in a distance, but when I have to look at something which is here, I need glasses, period. Yeah. For me, this is like, I cannot read. What's the problem? Of course, focus. So, I don't want to keep doing, frame the shot and focus. And yeah, frame the shot, focus. But most of the shots which I'm after are dynamic shots. So, I want to be able to, even manually, forget even automatic focus, just follow it. So with other one, I have like glasses which are like 5mm thick, and I can see something and I can follow focus. What? Okay. They are already 5mm thick. Thank you. I know. 2.5mm.
To get it there.
Yeah. But you get the idea. The focusing on a DSLR is a problem. With the newer models, there are some like follow focus functions, which I mean something which came out now, so you can, especially on the new ones, you can touch the screen and it theoretically follows. But this is automatic. I want to have a full manual control. This annoyed me. This thing has a built-in follow focus, which is still not perfect.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it also works like automatically, so that's the thing.
Well, not really automatic. Yeah, automatically is one thing, but also
at one speed.
One speed and
in the middle of
like not really in the middle, but like a sort of middle part of the frame. So still, if you want to have more creative shots with the 50mm or 85 at like 2.0, 1.5, sorry, 1.4, 1.2, which we were shooting. Well, no, we shot at 2.0 yesterday.
Anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Shallow depth of field, so that's the point.
But yes, it was, forget the automatic focus, it will never work. But, and this is where I'm getting to. What do we get on the screen? On this thing, on this screen, which would be actually this screen. Okay, now it's the other way, which actually this is another point. On this screen we get not clipping, picking. Yeah. So I can set up the color when something is in focus. Hello. That's the video party. Video party meet the camera party. So now this is live show. This is live show. We don't cut. What was the point is picking. And I don't think even that the new, because somebody could say, okay, the new DSLRs has the articulating screen, all that stuff, right. New DSLRs have the touch screen, fine, fantastic. I still don't give it, I don't care. I want to see, even without my glasses, this color which I can set up, is it green or red or something, when something is in focus, I have this contrast, the edges. And then I know, yes, I'm good. And then when I'm sort of shifting focus at 1.2 from 5 meters away to 1 meter in front of me, or the camera, smoothly, I see it. Now I started, now I'm here, focus. So that's the thing. To my knowledge, no DSLR has this functionality built in.
Yeah. Actually, you may saw it in the shots where I was doing swimming here. This was filmed on a DSLR camera.
You didn't film it, did you?
Did it?
No, I was just swimming.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, but this was not filmed.
Not?
I thought I was just swimming, you didn't film it.
I filmed it.
This was a private swimming.
Okay, sorry, should not mention it.
No, never mind, you did already, so too late.
You will see the shots where I filmed before.
When I was in the pool.
When I was in the pool. It was filmed on a DSLR camera, and
actually,
maybe some of the shots are slightly out of focus because I don't
actually, this camera which is filming now is exactly the same one. It's a Canon 1DX. And I think we'll talk about this way later, but I want to actually touch base, or maybe mention this idea now, but we'll really go into the details way later. We are filming now in the cinema
style.
What's the cinema? Actually, you know more about the cinema style.
It's just there are many of it, but it's just a flat color profile.
So it's like completely contrast is to maximum minimum, or like sharpness is to minimum.
Sharpness to minimum, saturation is more or less to minimum. So it tries to get out of the DSLR cameras this look which you have on the video cameras, really. This lock function.
So trying to get like the maximum from the sensor. So we want to eliminate any camera built-in processing. We just want to get as flat image as possible, which sounds crazy because of course your video and picture should look fabulous, colorful, contrasty, etc. But while shooting, we're doing the opposite. We're just removing contrast, we're removing sharpness, we're removing colors, everything.
The main point is to get as much freedom as you can have at post-processing. So you can do like custom color styles, so you don't have to really work with the already presets in the camera. So you have
forget presets. Forget presets.
It's not good.
Actually, and plus also by removing this contrast, what is the contrast?
Contrast,
saturation, and sharpness. You actually gain at least one stop of sort of dynamic range which you can use, because the camera. To get a contrast, what the camera is, what the program is, what the software is doing is expanding this histogram. So by telling the camera for the internal post-processing, you tell, I don't want this contrast, I don't want this sharpness. So you're actually shrinking the histogram, in reality, expanding your the dynamic range of the light you're getting, and then in post you decide, okay, yeah, here I want a little bit here, I want a little bit here, and you get more out of it. So that's this. But this, we'll talk about this later, because this is something, I think there's no DSLR, okay, maybe the new ones have the log functionality, but this one definitely has the log. It's a Canon, this is a Canon in this example, so there's a built-in Canon log, and yeah, but this is later. Hardware, we're not talking about this, hardware stuff. And I don't want to make it too long because they're going to kick us out in a minute from the swimming pool. Can you believe it? We have a swimming pool for ourselves. Awesome. We can do a video, we can swim, we can throw the camera in the water, everything. You're shooting a scene on a bright, sunny day, and you want to have a nice film look with a 24 frames per second, or depending where you are, 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, etc. You have, in this case, which I mentioned before, it doesn't really matter which lens, you have a lens on, and it's like a really sunny day. So what is the sunny day, how was it called, the sunny day 16, sunny day rule? I can't remember now, but there is a rule. On a sunny day, you put your ISO, which is your ISO film, so you have ISO 100 of your film. You put f16, and what's your shutter speed? It equals to your ISO, which would be hundredths of a second. And on a sunny day, your picture, most of the time, will be properly exposed. But this is fine. Hundredths of a second, I don't really care, because for this film look 24. So if you want to have a 24 frames. If you want to have 24 frames per second, your shutter speed should be around 48, 50th of a second, 60th of a second. So 100th of a second doesn't make such a big difference. But you are at f16. What if I want to have a nice close-up with a complete shallow depth of field? I'm putting a 50 millimeters 1.2. I cannot even close this lens, because from f16 to 1.2, Jesus Christ, so f16, f11 is 1 stop, f8 is 2 stops, f5.6 is 3 stops, f4 is 5 stops, what is it, f28 is 5 or 6 stops already, we are at f20 is 7 stops, then we have f20, I think it's now is 1.4. I think it's 1.2 or something, or 1.4. I mean, basically we are talking about 6, 7 stops down. So how am I supposed to do it? There's no way I can dial more. So if I'm at f16, I can go to f22, perhaps f32, depending on the lens, and that's it. I cannot go ISO lower than 100. Yeah. What am I? I'm screwed.
You can, of course, get down with the shutter speed, but then you don't.
Yeah, but then you don't get this film look. Yeah. So, what's the option on the DSLR? No. You have to put the filter. So you put there are those ND variable grads, not grads, ND filters, neutral. So like from this, but they have their own problems, and then depending on the quality of glass, it's better picture. Forget it. You still need a filter, you have to something to screw on, remember, etc.
Additional weights for balancing if you put it on wherever, whatever. And
this thing, and this is what I really love, forgetting all the other buttons. And this is, again, this is not only about this Canon C100, because I think Sony has it, I mean most of the proper video cameras have it. There is a built-in ND filter.
Actually not one.
Exactly. So if I dial up, it goes to ND1, which is 2 stops, ND2, which is 4 stops, and ND6. So I can simply, with like 1, 2, 3, with 3 clicks or dials, I cut down the light by 3 stops. So from
6 stops.
6. What did I say?
3.
Okay. 6 stops. So from this, as I said, from on a sunny day, which I would have to use this F16 or F22, I can simply with those 3 dial clicks, I can really use the exposure of like 2.0, 1.4, 1.8 range, and I'm still keeping this correct exposure and this film video, film look, and then, like most of the people there after this film look. Just to close down before I get really they kick us out, and I still want to have a swim. And Tam, you haven't been to water yet. Another thing, which is in terms of hardware, because the other stuff will go later. Shooting, sort of hand holding this camera, yeah. I mean, unless not tired, I can do something. But in reality, with this DSLR camera, and when I have a lens without stabilizer, and most of my lenses are actually not stabilized, there's no way I can get a clean shot handheld. So either I need a tripod, I need a shoulder rig, something. This thing, this is one thing. But I don't really care about that. What I really care is this viewfinder. And this is what I'm missing here. I mean, you can buy third-party stuff, depending on the company, which costs from 30 euro to 300 euro, and you have to glue it into the viewfinder, etc. There is a viewfinder. You can articulate it to a different level. There is another piece of rubber which I took it off because we used it on the crane, so you can use it on the left or right eye. But I did it a number of tests, which I will actually post on together with this video. This thing is built in, and together with this, you can actually hold the screen. But as soon as you put it next to your eye and you get the proper position, you have exactly. I mean, the camera is touching your head, and it's really working like a stabilizer. So those moving shots, and sometimes you want to have something quickly, turn it on, boom. Do it like fast-moving shot. It works, and if you put like 20, like for instance 24-105 with a stabilizer, it's dead solid. And you see it's a handheld shot, but sometimes you want to see that this footage was handheld shot. I mean, you want to get some shaking, but not like wobbling. It has to be usable. And this thing, I was shooting last month the ballet rehearsals, and I was in the middle of, well, it's not the stage, it was rehearsal room, but I was following dancing dancers? Dancing dancers, and it worked. And I had the eyepiece next to my eye, depending either left or right, and it worked, fantastic. And this is another, in terms of this hardware stuff which we are talking today, this is a big one. I mean, in favor of the proper video camera against the DSLR. But we'll carry on in the next one, most probably in a different location, because after this video I'm sure they will kick us out. And let's have a swim. This is Yeşildi reporting from Das Suite Privat Hotel in Mürbisch am See. So make sure you come here to Mürbisch and you stay here in, Das Suite Privat Hotel. Have a good one.